South Korea's industry minister arrived in the U.S. to hold talks with his U.S. counterpart. His sudden visit to Washington comes after President Donald Trump made a tariff hike threat, which Seoul's top diplomat said was not a breakdown of the trade deal itself. Our Kim Bo-kyoung tells us more.
Industry Minister Kim Jung-kwan arrived in Washington, D.C. on Wednesday night to meet with U.S. Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick for discussions on Trump's tariff hike threat. His visit comes after the U.S. president announced earlier this week that he would raise reciprocal tariffs and auto duties on Korea back to 25% from 15%. Upon his arrival at Dulles International Airport, he told reporters that he will meet Lutnick on Thursday local time. Trump appears to be dissatisfied with how the domestic legislative process has been progressing and made remarks to that effect, he added. Kim said he will clearly explain the domestic legislative situation to avoid any misunderstandings and that there has been no change in South Korea's position in terms of cooperation with an investment in the U.S. Meanwhile, Seoul's top diplomat underlined that U.S. President Trump's warning of a tariff hike on South Korean exports does not mean a breakdown of the trade deal reached between the two allies. The remarks were from a panel discussion with the local press on Thursday.
It would be hard to view this as a breach of the agreement, and we believe we can adequately explain it to the U.S. side as we proceed.
He added that such a process is not a renegotiation, but rather consultations to faithfully implement the existing fact sheet details. South Korea's moves follow U.S. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent making it clear that there will be no trade deal with South Korea until the National Assembly formally ratifies the pending special law on U.S.-bound investment. In an interview with CNBC on Wednesday, Bessent said the South Korean parliament has not passed a trade deal, so there is no trade deal until they ratify it, adding that it would be helpful if things moved along. The U.S. trade representative has also talked about how Seoul had not executed commitments under last year's trade framework while speaking in an interview on Tuesday.
We moved down to 15% for Korea as a show of good faith. They haven't been able to get a bill through to do the investment. They've introduced new laws on digital services.
He had added that it would be hard for Washington to hold up the bargain if Seoul does not swiftly move forward. Kim Bo-kyoung, Arirang News.